Welcome back to Liver Live. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Liverpool Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Jurgen Klopp compares new arrival Wataru Endo to Liverpool legend James Milner. Wataru Endo has arrived at Anfield, confirmed as one of the shock deals of the summer, but Jurgen Klopp believes he can have a similar impact at Liverpool to legend James Milner, after missing out on big money moves for Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, both to Chelsea. The Reds turn to an unlikely candidate to fill the boots of Fabinho, who has moved to Saudi Arabia. The 30-year-old captain of Japan has been snapped up for £16.2 million from Stuttgart, and although it might not be what the Liverpool fans had hoped for at the start of the transfer window, Klopp has talked up his new man. He is a late bloomer in his career, and he was definitely underestimated for a long time. It is clear he has improved every year since he was on the proper football screen. Klopp told a press conference on Friday, "There's no chance that anybody could think he is 30. When you see him, you think, is he allowed to drive a car? On the pitch, he turns into a real monster. One of the biggest LFC legends of my time was James Milner. He arrived here when he was 29. I can tell you without James Milner, we wouldn't have enjoyed success in recent years. Wataru can have a similar impact." The last week was obviously a tricky one, but when you have a problem you can stick to the problem or find a solution. I'm more than happy to have the solution. Milner arrived at Liverpool when he was 29 but went on to spend 8 seasons with the club, making 332 appearances and winning both the Premier League and Champions League among a string of other trophies. Liverpool should raid Jurgen Klopp's old club to get another Romeo Lavia transfer alternative. Despite the disappointment of the Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia transfer sagas, Liverpool had a bit of a silver lining with the arrival of Wataru Endo at the end of the week. With just about 2 weeks left of the window, there is still plenty of time left to salvage what is left of it and make it into a success. Now, with Endo arriving for a relatively cheap transfer fee of $21 million, there's plenty of money still left to spend on another elite holding midfielder. The club has to find value in places towards which there are no eyes turned in order to find potential superstars, and this should see the Reds return to Klopp's old club in the Bundesliga in Mainz, where there is an extremely underrated midfielder who could be an ideal addition to the club. Luxembourg international Leandro Barreiro is a player who ticks a lot of boxes in terms of what Liverpool is looking for in the market at the moment. He is a ball winner, relatively young, and provides a lot of energy and technical elegance as well. Last season, out of the under-25 midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues, Barreiro ranked in the top 15 for successful defensive actions per 90, averaging 10.32 as per Wiscout. For under-25 midfielders who average at least 6 defensive duels per 90, Barreiro also ranked in the top 5 for successful defensive duels, winning 66.14%. Those kinds of numbers could help Liverpool forget about Lavia. He is clearly someone who can regain the ball, and that is an area where Klopp's side is lacking. But it's important to stress, while Barreiro can play in the holding midfield role, he is also comfortable and probably more capable playing in a double pivot or in a box-to-box role. Maybe he and Endo could be an alternative to Lavia in the aggregate, to paraphrase Billy Bean in Moneyball. Liverpool predicted lineup versus Bournemouth as Jurgen Klopp forced into change. Liverpool are poised to bring in Harvey Elliott for their clash against Bournemouth at Anfield on Saturday afternoon, with Jurgen Klopp coy on a potential debut for Wataru Endo. The Reds, who began their season with a draw at Chelsea, have bolstered their ranks this week with the capture of the Japanese international, who will bring added quality in midfield following a summer exodus. It appears unlikely though that Klopp will throw his new signing straight in when they face the Cherries, but he is likely to bring in a midfielder and do away with what was effectively a 4-pronged attack last time out, with Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo all starting. Jota is set to be the one to drop out, with Elliott coming into play alongside Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai. Liverpool continue to juggle injury issues, with several options still not available to the Reds boss, who said on Friday, "Stefan Bajcetic, really close but not there yet. We really count on him. Thiago Alcantara, really close but not there yet," on his new arrival, who has already featured at their Kirby training base. He added, "Okay, Endo is now in and he's allowed to train this afternoon. If he's allowed to participate in the game tomorrow, I don't know. We will see that." Liverpool's back four is set to remain the same despite some uncertain moments in the stalemate with the Blues 6 days ago. Liverpool started the better, taking the lead courtesy of Diaz, but were pegged back and saw Chelsea spurn several second-half chances. This fixture last season proved to be a mauling as Liverpool equalled the record win in the Premier League era as they smashed 9 past Bournemouth. 5 of those were scored in the first half as the Reds ran riot to record their first win of the season, and it could be the same scenario once again. Reds join race for Fulham target after THEATE. Jurgen Klopp is still reportedly looking to sign a centre-back this summer. As Liverpool look to make an instant return to the Premier League's top for this season, Jurgen Klopp is still looking to add more reinforcements to his side before the summer transfer window slams shut. The Reds have so far only welcomed Alexis Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai to first-team action, with Wataru Endo joining the pair this week. Now, it seems as though they've turned their attention to a Ligue 1 defender. According to LIVERPOOL, via Get Football News France, Liverpool are interested in signing starred Rennes defender after THEATE this summer. As they look to sign another centre-back, the Merseyside club aren't alone in their interest. However, with fellow Premier League side Fulham also in the race to welcome the League One man in the coming weeks, having only signed for Rennes last summer, joining the club for a reported €19 million, £16 million, from Bologna. It remains to be seen whether THEATE would be in a position to make such a swift departure from the French club. As things stand, according to Transfermarkt, the Belgian is worth just €22 million, £19 million, making a deal more than feasible. Should Liverpool push ahead with their interest, with just under 2 weeks remaining in the transfer window, Liverpool are certainly a club to keep an eye on. Given the fact that Joel Matip is entering the final year of his Liverpool contract, THEATE would represent a smart piece of business for Liverpool. The 23-year-old is a far younger option than 32-year-old Matip, handing the Reds a player with plenty of room to adapt and eventually improve their side. Add Joe Gomez's injury issues on top of Matip's age, and it seems as though signing a central defender is imperative for Klopp this summer. The England international has missed 44 games in the last 3 seasons, becoming an unreliable option at Anfield. Gomez's consistent absence could open the door for THEATE, though, who has received plenty of praise during his relatively young career, including from Serie A expert Conor Clancy. Clancy told Football Fancast last summer, "He's almost like a throwback in how he approaches defending. He's a little bit in your face, he can be a bit aggressive, if he bit someone I wouldn't be surprised. He's just an ugly defender, you'd hate to play against him because he could give you a smack. But when he has the ball as well he can play. He's a modern defender crossed with an old-school defender in that way. I quite like him, statistically speaking, too." The Rennes man outperformed Gomez in certain aspects in the previous campaign. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.